Hi, I'm Ken Krell. Speakers, authors, coaches, thought leaders come to me to discover how they can take their current position and turn it into high-powered, high-profit, transformational digital events. I can do the same for you too. You're about to watch an excerpt of one of our online events that I think you may find very powerful. After that, I'll meet you and we'll talk about it.
One of the ways that I talk about live streaming is fear of camera, right? And you just brought up Colbert, which is a great example of how it's hard even for those who are like super experienced. So if you're watching live late night host right now, Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher, what's his name, Trevor Noah, Ellen DeGeneres, right? I was on a call today with someone who said, I love Ellen, but watching her from her house, she kills me. She's so boring. So you do need an audience because it's extremely difficult talking to a motionless camera. And because it's so difficult, nobody's doing it. Like nobody successful is doing it. If you're watching like Gary Vee, he's talking to his team who's behind the camera. He never, ever, ever did it alone. Even if you watch his first video, he never just talked to a camera. There was a guy behind the camera that was giving him emotional cues, right? Is it funny? Is it interesting? What's going on? And he can kind of gauge what the audience is doing. Bill Maher now is adding fake audiences to his videos because he needs that feedback, right? Like you tell a joke and there's an awkward pause. Nobody's laughing. You don't know how it came through. I think the only person who said he loves it is John Oliver, because he said he had worst day as a comedian, as a stand-up comedian, that now he's like, the silence is fine. Nobody's throwing any tomatoes at me, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard, right? Like, so it's not just hard for us, everyday people just starting live streaming. It's difficult for everybody. The top people, it's hard. So how do you get over that? Right? What do? You do exactly what Ken is doing right now. You're having conversations. So we're switching from broadcasting, talking to our phone and just like a motionless camera, to having conversations in real time. And when you're not having a summit like this, right? And when you're not doing live interviews, bring your audience in, talk to your audience in real time. And that way you see their faces, you see if they're interested, you get their questions, and you build that emotional connection that really builds an audience and not just vanity numbers. I'll be honest, when I first started 10 years ago with Google, I was one of the first one to get privileges for Hangouts on Air. And I started interviewing people like the former US ambassador to the UN or the youngest president of the NAACP. I got butterflies, right? Like I was like, do I know what to ask? I don't know what to ask. And I had questions ahead of time. And nobody wants to look stupid when you're interviewing people. So it takes time. I remember at the beginning, Dell had these avatars that you can put on your camera in a regular software, kind of like virtual camera. And I was a black man. I was a black man with an Israeli accent, because I wasn't comfortable on camera. And it takes time, like you get over it. But what's easier is that if I'm not looking at the camera and I'm looking at you, Ken, and so now I forget the camera because all I'm doing is I'm focusing on the person right in front of me. Right. And you're saying something and I say something. And this is a perfect platform for introverts because introverts are great listeners, right? Extroverts are like, la, 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 right? Yeah. Let me talk. I want to be center of attention. But introverts are fantastic interviewers. And so if you're an introvert or if you're a little shy, this is perfect. Bringing a guest like me that has energy, let them talk. And then you have a fantastic show, exactly like what's his name? Warren was just saying, right? Someone comes on your show, they think, and everybody else thinks, you know what it is they were talking about. So we do have this thing of like what it's like to be a good guest and what it's like to be a good host, and remembering that you're not there to preach and it's a conversation, right? And let the host ask you a question. So learn to say some sound bites, shut the fuck up, right? Put some space, right? And let someone else come into the conversation. Otherwise it's a lecture and people get bored watching like a talking head.
So that's one short taste of how you can use the power of digital events to help people transform their lives and find a new way to live. Want to learn how you can put it to use in your own business? Well, stick with me for the Digital Events Essentials Plan. It's called DEEP. It'll take you through how you can plan, produce, and profit from your own online events. It's pretty great, it's pretty free, and I think you'll like it pretty much. So come join me. Click the link either in the description below or somewhere on this video itself, and we'll take you over there. It's completely free. I think you're going to love it, and it will give you the plan you need to plan, produce, and profit from your own digital events.